Oh, have you got one of those glasses, David? Yeah. Oh, you're muted at the moment, but there you go.
No, I'm using one of my regular ones this evening. I've tried to promote one of these ones, which was actually one of my mum and dad's.
Oh, right, good.
So I'll use your mum and dad's next week, but this week I'll do my mum and dad's.
Okay.
We can begin with Shalom Aleichem, just to welcome everyone while we mute everyone.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachim b'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Barakuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedkem b'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malachei Amlakim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
So Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. And I really want to encourage us to bring in a little bit of spring. It was Paul's suggestion that we change our passwords from winter to spring this weekend, which felt most appropriate as we enter into the month of March. Very soon, it's going to be a month of us managing our services and our congregation with that tiny scrap of a phrase that has become so meaningful to us, more than a building. It's going to be a year that we've managed this. But for now, I'm going to ask you that as we all light our own Shabbat candles, that perhaps you think of something new, whether it might be the daffodils or the bulbs in your garden coming up, but it might also be something in your own life that's happened. Have you recently moved? Is there a significant birthday? Is there a grandson that's been born? There might be something in one of your families that truly, as you light the candles, you are bringing in truly Shabbat. We're on page 75 as we follow service number 2. By all means, share your new thing if you would like to in the chat. It would be lovely to hear. So when you're ready, anyone who's lighting candles, please do so. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Amen. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. So having welcomed Shabbat with Shalom Aleichem, I'm going to encourage you to turn to page 78 for Yedid Nefesh.
Yedid Nefesh of HaRachaman, of HaRachaman, V'shokavtecha el ritzonecha, el ritzonecha. ושוקפתך ארץ עונך ארץ עונך ירוץ עבדך כמו אייל ישתחווה אל מול הדרך ידיד נפש אב הרחמן אב הרחמן משוקפתך ארץ עונך ארץ עונך
Let's move straight over to Lachadodi, page 91.
לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לה 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 לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה שמור זכור ונתברך השמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם תפארת ולתהילה לה 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 לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לקראת שבת נקום ונרפא יהי מקום הברכה בראש מקדם מסוכה סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לה 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 לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה התעוררי התעוררי דירה אורך קומי אורי אורי שידברי כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה לה 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 לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה אורי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם סגולה בואי קלה לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לה 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 לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה לך לך דודי לקראת קלה ונתפנה שבת נקבלה
Let's move straight to the Baruchu. Having welcomed Shabbat, let's welcome each other and join in prayer.
את אדוני המבורך לעולם ועד
into the blessings before the Shema, the first that blesses the natural world around us, but particularly the changes of seasons and weather. We praise you, Eternal One, our God, Sovereign of the universe, whose word brings on the evening, whose wisdom opens heaven's gates, whose understanding changes times and seasons, and whose will sets the stars in their courses in the sky. You make day and night, rolling light away from darkness, darkness from light. You make day pass and bring on the night, and separate day from night. You rule the hosts of heaven. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv, Arabim.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha avta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta, otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shofteinu, hukumeinu nasiach b'chodecha, v'nizmak b'divrei toratecha, u'nitznotecha le'olam va'ed. V'hidayenu ve'oret yameinu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael, Ohev amo Yisrael.
So the Shema, our evening Shema together. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto, le'olam va'ed. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto, le'olam va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem kevod malchuto, le'olam va'ed. Le'olam va'ed.
I invite you to follow in Hebrew or English, as is your way, but I'm going to share a beautiful translation put together by Rabbis Eli Tikva Sarah and Leah Mulstein. You shall love the source of life with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength. Let the words which I command you this day be always in your heart. Repeat them faithfully to your children and other people's children. Just as you speak of them when you're at home, speak of them in the wider world. Let them guide your hands and focus your vision, both when you take your rest And when you rise each day, write these words on your doors and on your gates, that they may frame your passages through life.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And these words from Rabbi Israel Matuk: truth is not the best loved of virtues, and yet it is one of the noblest, as it is perhaps the hardest of them all. It needs courage and resolution and strength of will. It must be loved for its own sake, or it will not be practiced.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא.
נאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. Let's offer Hashkivenu, our evening prayer, for Shalom Bayit, for peacefulness and ease in our homes.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, העמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, העמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ושמות עתינו אלוהינו לחיים ולשלום, לעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, העמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, העמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol yoshvei tevel. Let's go to the tefillah together and offer, eternal God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
Anananananana Adonai. Ananananana svatai tiftach. Ananananana ufi agid. Ufi agid
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shemo B'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Machaye Meitim atah Rav LaHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach u'Morid HaGeshem, Mazriach HaShemesh u'Morid HaTav. Machalkel Chayim B'Chesed, Machaye Meitim B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umakayem Emunato Lishnei Afa, Mi Chamocha Ba'al Gvorot, Umi Domelach, Melech Memit Umachaye Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Ata Lahachayot Metim, Baruch atah Adonai, Machaye HaMetim. Kadosh atah v'nora shamecha, ve'en lanu Eloah mibaladecha, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat ledorotam, l'ritonam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et haShabbat, la'asot et haShabbat ledorotam, l'ritonam. They need
Did we lose Dean for a moment? I'm sure he will come back. We'll just let him come back. We will pause and let him come back and take us back to Vashamru. So we are on page 100. So we close that and wait for him to come back. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. Ratzei Adonai Eloheinu bi'amcha Yisrael u'tefilatam bi'ahavat tekabel u'tehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Baruch atah Adonai she'otecha levadacha v'yera na'avod. So as we prepare to offer Modim Anachnu Lach, think about what we feel grateful for or are celebrating or marking in our own lives. I've already seen lovely news that Tiffany's expecting a baby, lovely news that Beverly's welcomed her grandson, and Patricia's grandson's 18, and our own Danny Rich is with us in the service tonight. I didn't know if he would be, but marks a special birthday on Sunday, which we are delighted to have a tiny bit of you, if only tonight, to wish you well. So remember to put in the chat so we all hear from each other as we offer Modim Anachnu Lach She'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu le'olam va'ed Tzur hayenu magen yishenu Ata hu l'dor v'dor Nodeh lecha saper tehilatecha al hayenu Hamsurim biadecha V'al nishmotenu hapokudot lach, v'al nisecha shebachol yom imanu, v'al niflotecha v'tovotecha shebachol eit erev v'avoker v'tzoharayim. Baruch atah Adonai, atov shimcha ulacha na'eh lahodot. So let me see a few little things while I'm wondering if Dean is okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, hooray!
Yeah.
Hooray.
Yeah, sorry about that. Don't know what it was.
Don't worry. We are totally dependent, as we know, on the powers of Wi-Fi. So as we welcome Shabbat, as we've marked each other, as we are celebrating, I'm reading lovely things. Marion and I's sons have, looks like their year off is about to start, with them going to a sloth farm in Costa Rica to work there. So we've just established tickets have been bought and they will be going. So let's go into Shalom Rav, peacefulness for all of us.
Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha, Nazim Le'olam. Shalom Rav, Al Yisrael Amcha.
Adonai, Oseh HaShalom. Let's take a moment for silent prayer for us as we mark the coming of spring, as this week's parasha, Ki Tisa, has two such wonderful moments in it. For me, I feel it's the most underrated parasha. Of course, it has the golden calf, and most intriguingly, it has the fury of God who wants to destroy the Israelites, Moses who persuades God not to, and then succumbs to his own fury by breaking those tablets as soon as he sees them. And so much has been said about anger and the difference in our lives of anger when righteous indignation pushes us to make changes or do things in the world, and when anger is more self-seeking and unhelpful for us. I think this whole portion is about anger and the recovery from anger. So maybe it's just a thought that we spend our lives trying to overcome and manage our emotions. And there's a beautiful commentary that responds to Pirkei Avot, talking about the best kind of a person is someone who is slow to anger. But the commentary says, but how come Moses, the most humblest of men, was able to succumb to his anger that we see twice? And maybe that somehow Judaism has that such fantastic way of being kind of honest and reassuring and realistic about how human beings navigate their time here on earth and our emotions within us. So just a little food for thought for us as we take a moment for silent prayer for each one of us.
Adonai Tzuri v'goali, Adonai Tzuri v'goali, l'ratzon irivi, lefanecha, Adonai Tzuri v'goali, Adonai Tzuri v'goali. Say shalom b'mroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Say shalom b'mroma, say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei
Thank you so much. Let's go to Aleinu on page 520.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו ליחד את שמו, וגמור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. גמור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים מודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא, הקדוש ברוך הוא. שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינה תוזו בגוני מרומים, הוא אלוהינו נעמוד. אמת מלכינו, אפס הולדו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום להשב אותה בלבבך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחת עינו.
So beautiful, looking ahead to the future. We turn now to Kaddish and to those who are mourning and recalling a loved one in our congregation. This week, we think particularly of Eva Mutkin, aunt of Maureen Labato and Brian Solomons. Zichronah Livracha, may her memory be for a blessing. We think of those who are marking yard sites for their families. We think particularly this Shabbat of the first yard site of Vivian Lacra, wife of Paul Lacra, mother of Melanie, Celine, and Lizzie, and grandmother to her darling granddaughters, Talia, Eliana, and Lila. We think also of Jaime Schulman, father of Barbara Schulman, of Ian Silverman, brother of Anita Friedman, and Mildred Cass, mother of Carolyn Collins. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing, and may those who remember their loved ones be comforted in their loss as we say the words of the Kaddish with them. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, Bialma divrach Yerutei v'yamlich malchutei, B'hayachon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Bagala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mavorach le'olam al maya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitada v'yitale v'talal shemed kudusha brichu. Leila min kol berchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechemata. Da'amiram bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba min Shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Yoseh Shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh Shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, ועל כל בני אדם, ואמרו, Amen. So we go now to the end of the service. Yevarechecha, which you can find on page, it's like a joke, I do this every week, isn't it? You can find it on page 563 before we go into Kiddush.
Yesimcha Elohim Ephraim Lechi Menashe Yesimech Elohim Kesara Rivka Rachel Leah Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha Yisa Adonai panav elecha Ve'yasem lecha shalom Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha Yisa Adonai panav elecha Ve'yasem lecha shalom Ve'yasem lecha shalom.
So lovely. I think we feel well and truly blessed, and clearly sloths are going to run and run and run now. So grab whatever you're making Kiddush over. And anyone that has halot. Just while everyone's getting that, a reminder, breakfast shiur tomorrow with our own Richard Green talking about gossip, which stands to be very interesting. And
9:30, that is.
9:30, Cafe Evriya, 10 o'clock with some Torah study with me on Sunday. And a reminder, the next Thursday evening at 6 o'clock, Beit Midrash will host the Deputy Ambassador to Israel, who will be coming to talk to us as a community and to the whole of liberal Judaism, but we are hosting. So it will be lovely to have a good turnout for that. Tell me when you're ready. Dean, are you ready? Let me see if everyone's topped up. I've been seeing a lot of red wine being drunk during the service, which clearly is the benefit. I don't know how we'll manage when we come back into the sanctuary, not to have a drink in our hands as we sit through the service, but we'll have to manage. So, Dean.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikrae kodesh zecher letziat Mitzrayim Kivanu vachata ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim ve'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchiltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh ha'shabbat. Amen.
And anyone who has challah or anything else, they're making hamotzi over, bring it up into the screen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.